Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Color with Us, Coloring Roulette, where we are taking Color with Claire's Coloring Roulette game and holding a collaboration between 3 of our channels, Disney Megs Coloring, Amanda Colors, and JI Colorist myself. I get to pick this month, so I'm quite excited about that. Let's hope that we will definitely not be using gel pens this session as a medium, because even if we draw it, I'm throwing it back into the pile. So here we go. I have printed mine on different colored cardstock. So we have prompts. We have a pile of prompts. So there's all kinds of items in there. We have mediums. So we've got metallic paints, colored pencils, fine liners, and like I mentioned, no gel pens. We will be selecting a wild card after we have chosen the rest, and the wild cards will trump sometimes what we get here. And then at last, the gray color here cards are all of the different colors that we will get to select. We will be selecting 5 colors. So I'll flip these over and mix them up a little bit. In the video description, you will find a link to Color with Claire's YouTube channel, and that is where you can find a link to her Ko-fi site where you can access your own Color Roulette game. Okay, we're ready. Everything is done enough. I will start with taking a prompt, 1 card from the prompt pile. And our prompt is mountains. Well, that's okay. I'm happy with that. Next is the medium. And we will select gouache paint. Okay. So that means the main part of the picture has to use gouache paint. Now, that could also be if you had a gouache acrylic markers, would think that would be an acceptable medium to use as well. And now we will pick 5 colors. So move these out of the way because we're done with these 2 piles. And 1 from the top. Okay, that's 4, 5. Okay, let's see what these are. We have purple, indigo, mahogany, oh boy, emerald green, and light yellow. So we have to have a picture with mountains in it using gouache paint and the colors emerald green, mahogany, indigo, purple, and light yellow. And this, my friends, is what Coloring Roulette is all about. This is really pushing ourselves out of our normal coloring range of. And let's now select a wild card. So we'll select. And the wild card is add your own drawing to the page, which I love doing because I love to alter a page. So this is actually great for me. And I know that both Amanda and Megan are probably okay with drawing as well. So this should be fun. So there you go. I look forward to seeing your attempt at using these prompts, and use the coloring hashtag Color with Us, Coloring Roulette. Remember, the spelling is on screen. Tag Amanda Colors, Disney Megs Coloring, or JI Colorist on Instagram with your picture using the hashtag Color with Us, Coloring Roulette. And this is for the month of July 2023. And this is our 2nd month, so this is episode number 2. Thanks for playing along with us, and I look forward to seeing your pictures on Instagram. Take care. So it's been a day or 2 since I drew the prompts for the Coloring Roulette challenge. I have found I didn't find a page that had actual mountains on it. So what I did is I took a page from Joanna Basford's World of Wonders, and I have selected the camel page. And what I decided is that he looked kind of bare, just all alone on this page. So I am going to draw in some mountains because I am supposed to draw on the page as well. So I thought, well, I might as well draw the mountains on. I photocopied this page just to do a little bit of planning about how mountains might look, and whether or not it actually made sense to have mountains behind him. So that is kind of my pre-planning stage. I'm going to be doing a voiceover and sped up painting and drawing on stuff, so you can see my process, but won't have to maybe listen to me talk slowly while I'm doing it. I find it hard to both talk and paint at the same time. I did already own a Royal Langnickel gouache set, so I will be pulling out and using gouache. I have let both Megan and Amanda know that they didn't have any gouache. I don't want them to have to spend money just to participate in this challenge. So I have said that they could use their acrylic paint pens because basically it's gouache as well. So these are what I will be using. I have a little palette here, and that is my process. So sit back, relax, and for the rest of the video, you will be having future Jody with a voiceover. Thanks for watching. After I've finished drawing it in pencil, I am now taking a pigment liner that is rather thick in line width, and I did that on purpose so that the lines would still show even after I'm done painting with gouache. I will then take an eraser and clean up any leftover graphite, and then I'll be ready to start painting. Color palette said to use a light yellow. I only had a medium yellow, so I'm using some titanium white to tone the yellow down and mix it into a lighter shade. Colors of gouache that I will use for the entire picture, and I use a travel palette. I also add water to get the right colors and combine colors to make more colors. Here I am using the light yellow on the muzzle, and then I decide that that color is a bit too light. I then take the brown and I mix the yellow and brown together, and then I find out that painting with gouache dries very quickly, so I end up adding water to make the paint more liquidy so it is easier to paint. I've also switched to a smaller paintbrush so that I can get into the smaller areas on the camel. There's quite a bit of detail. So you'll see me in the next few minutes just painting the camel using the different colors from the color palette and having fun. You see me using a small spray bottle, and that's just filled with water, and that allows me to spray directly onto the palette and get liquid on there. Then I'm not dipping my paintbrush into water all the time, so it's just a little hack for you. The next little while is where I am taking the different colors from the color palette and just kind of mapping out where I want all the different colors to be. I do end up using all of the colors on the camel and tent and blankets, and I hope you like it. For the yellow, I did thin it out a little bit so that it wasn't a really opaque color. I did want to see the lines through the paint. The purple is a little bit darker, so you don't end up seeing the lines, and that's okay too. Here I'm using the green, and I'm using it full strength so that it's darker because this is the area under the blanket and I thought it would be in shadow. Then I go ahead and add some water to make it lighter and use the green for the rest of the blankets. So here I'm using a dagger brush, and I'm kind of trying to dry brush on. I end up having a bit too much paint on my brush, and you'll see that shortly where I end up leaving globs. Later in the video you'll see how I fix that. So there, right there, that's a bit too globby for me. So it's probably actually not the right brush to be using, but yeah, just experimenting as I go. Brush is a unique brush in that it has short bristles. They're packed together. They kind of look frayed, but they're not. It's a stippling brush, and it's used for creating trees and bushes. So I'm using it just to add some greenery to the mountains. And I did dry or wipe off most of the paint before starting this, so it did a better job. here I am taking a water brush. I am putting some water directly over the globs of gouache, and I am taking a Kleenex and soaking it up. So because these are water-based mediums, they can be activated with water. And now I am just smoothing out the underneath to make it look more like a shadow. And here is the completed picture. I tidied up some of the lines with a black Micron 0.03 line pen, and I also at the end used a black glaze, and I grabbed a black jelly roll just to sharpen up some of the lines that were really small. I just, instead of painting them, I used the black gel pen. So I don't think that's cheating. I think that that is still okay. I was trying to do a little bit of dry brushing to mimic some green on the mountains, but not really thrilled with how that turned out. But the fact that it's gouache paint and I'm not a painter, I think we did okay. It's an altered page, and it's completed Color with Us Colouringroulette edition number 2. And yeah, I thought about doing some yellow in the background as well, but I think we have enough yellow in the foreground that I didn't need to put in the background as well. And I just kind of wanted to mimic a little bit of sky, so I put some of the indigo is kind of like clouds. So I hope you found this somewhat interesting. Thank you for watching the video. Please check out the YouTube channels Disney Megs Coloring and Amanda Colors to see their participation in this month's Coloring Roulette challenge. And if you do the challenge yourself, remember to post your picture on Instagram or tag us in a video on YouTube. And you can also tag Color with Claire, who was the original person who created the Coloring Roulette game. So thank you again to Claire. We're having fun with this, and I hope to see you next month for episode number 3. Until then, I hope you have a colorful and creative week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.